Hello, this is Miss Antrice on the behalf of Movers and Shakers magazine. Today we are here with no other than Miss Chrisette Michele. Let me ask you, is this your first time here in North Carolina? It's not your first time in North Carolina. Now let us know exactly where you're from.
I'm from Long Island, New York.
Long Island, New York. Okay, because here in North Carolina we have a lot of people who actually come down from New York and migrate and things of that nature. Now I think today, for me, what I would love to ask you, your voice is so strong. I mean, and you don't just sing, you do what I call sing. You really get down, and your performance was so out of this world. How comfortable are you really on stage?
I'm probably too comfortable. Actually, when I come off the stage, I'm a little bit embarrassed because I'm really a fool of myself.
Oh no!
At the end of the show.
Oh no, not at all.
I think it's imperative to give everything because there's people who've been through the ugliest situations and made complete fools of themselves. So it's my way of giving back to them and sowing into their spirit.
Yes, I totally agree. Now let me ask you this. All of the accolades that are behind your name, all of the achievements, how hard was it for you as an individual and as a woman? You know, it may not have been hard, but I want to ask, how hard was it for you to get to where you are today?
Well, everything is perspective. If I look at the way other people got to where they are, their story might be uglier than mine, and some of their stories might be a lot prettier than mine. So for me, my strength was in my family, and if I didn't have them, I think that would have been a lot tougher. But because I had their support and their words of wisdom from my mother, from my father, and even from my brothers, I've been able to be strong and comfortable where I am.
Yes. Now let me ask you this in reference to your idols, I guess I can say, in music. Whom are some of the people that you got your influence from? Because you also have a jazziness to your voice, and even within the concert, the scatting. I mean, everybody can't scat. You know, that's a special talent, you know. So with the jazz influence that you have, who exactly has influenced you?
Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Sarah Vaughan, I think are my three top. But then you've got the beautiful instrumentation of Big Sabrina and Art Blakey on the drums. Rhythm really inspires me as well. Right.
Now, let me ask you this as well. How important is it to remember the Sarah Vaughans and the Ella Fitzgeralds and the Louis Armstrongs that have come before us, that makes it possible, you know, for us to hear the sound of, you know, what jazz was and what it can be and where it can go in the future? How important is it to remember that history? And the reason I say that is because you can speak about jazz sometimes, and it's as if it's a thing of the past. You understand? It's as if it's so historic, like, oh, that's jazz was back in the day. But they don't know that jazz is now. Jazz is still alive. So how important is it to you to remember those who came prior to?
More than anything, I think people's stories are important. Billie Holiday's story, Ella Fitzgerald's story, the way that they got to where they are, and the way that they've made for us to be who we are today is the most important thing. But every person picks and chooses how to use what tools are in the past to create who they are today. It's very interesting that when I got signed to Def Jam, I didn't know a lot of R&B songs, and I was so embarrassed and so ashamed. My A&R took me to the store and bought me tons and tons of records because I didn't know enough. And I just wanted to feel like when I go to interviews, I can say, well, remember that song so-and-so did? I never listened to it as a kid. So for me, it was jazz, it was gospel, it was church.
Jazz, the gospel, church. Okay. Now let me also ask you this, and I believe that it will be one of the two last questions for you. What advice can you give to someone, let's say, even if it's the young lady, the little girl who may be 7 years old, who wants to sing, wants to be a singer, and just hasn't found her voice yet, or maybe the 18-year-old or the 30-year-old? What advice do you have in reference to perseverance and actually pursuing your dreams?
There's so many different things that go into becoming successful. Of course, my first thing is always listen to your mama. I'm sure she's got some incredible things to say. My mom is right across this wall, and I'm 27 years old. She's my everything. So listen to the words of wisdom that the adults have around you. That's why I say I appreciate the adults that are in the audience. At 27 years old, there are 65-year-olds who come out to see us. So it's important that we listen to the adults. And then to the kids who are a little bit older, get a job. A lot of us think that something's going to be handed to us. Somebody's going to walk up to us and say, oh my God, that's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. You're signed, you're a millionaire. And it's not. 4 jobs while I was in college and about to get my record deal. That's the boat that I was in. So work, make your own money, and pay your way to success. And someone will notice you.
Okay. And my last question for you today, and my viewers know this is a signature question that I always ask because I think that is very important. At the end of the day, what do you wish or hope for your legacy to be within society?
There's a few, but what remains at the top of my list is that I was a lady. People to walk away saying, like Chrisette Michele, she had integrity. She held herself correctly. She had morality. She wasn't afraid to be a role model. At the end of the day, I want people to say that I was a lady, and I carried myself like one, that I spoke like one, and that I respected people like one. A lady.
A lady. And I definitely agree. I want to tell you, it is my pleasure and my honor, because me, myself, I am absolutely a fan of yours. I mean, in the car and home, and I can't sing the lead, but you make me feel like I can sing when I listen to your CD. So I want to tell you, thank you for coming to Charlotte. Thank you for allowing me to do this interview with you. Again, this has been Miss Antrice for Movers and Shakers magazine, and today we've had the pleasure and the honor of interviewing no other than Miss Chrisette Michele.
God bless you.